immediately you want some revenue coming into your kitty.
Okay.
You must learn to sell.
Mm-hmm.
You must learn to sell. Indeed, we don't have to wait until we are in crisis before we learn how to sell.
To sell.
We must learn how to sell irrespective of the course we are pursuing at the university or the polytechnic or technical university or anywhere. Because one thing we all do constantly is selling.
I like that.
Yeah. So if you know how to sell, you can sell any product or any service at all without permission.
Exactly.
If I went to, without a degree in sales or marketing, I went to tractor and equipment.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call themselves? Is it man-truck or something like
that? I don't know, but the tractor equipment sounds
heavy duty
equipment,
mining equipment.
Yes.
If I learn how to sell, I can sell anything, and therefore I can sell those heavy duty equipment.
Yes.
If I went to man-truck and I said that I'm getting a lead for this equipment, can you give me further and better particulars on it so that I can use to close this deal?
Close the deal
for you. You think they will say, "Where is your certificate?"
Never. Sales is one of the things that nobody cares about your certificate. Because the outcome is very straightforward. Were you able to sell? Were you able to sell? In this edition, we are going to have an amazing discussion. We're going to be talking about your personal motivation, how to get your energy levels back up, regardless of whether you are working for somebody or you're working for yourself. So I have been able to get an amazing guest who will be an awesome input. I wouldn't want to give out all the juices, so I'll let things roll naturally, and you know what I'm talking about. This man is a treasure trove of knowledge, not just information. Information he has, but treasure trove of knowledge and wisdom. I treasure wisdom and knowledge over information, right? But he has all. His name is Mr. David Egyir, right? And he actually was my senior in school. So when we went to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, some point in the past, I wouldn't say precisely. And I think when our path crossed recently, I reminded him that his face looked very familiar, and he was a senior. He was a very cool senior. And, in the same department, the same department, I did building technology and he did architecture. And he is, I would say, a nobleman, a gentleman, I would say. And he is an architect, a designer, and most importantly these days, he's a life coach. I think his passion, is to see that people achieve their greatest potential in life. And that actually connects the two of us even better, because my passion falls in line with his. There's that kind of synergy. Yeah. And not only that, he's also a great author, and he births a lot of information products and knowledge products. Let me put it that way. So he's written a couple of books. I think one of them is The Purpose Compass. Once I finish, he will probably talk a little bit about each of the books. Purpose Compass, I would be glad to know about that. Then there's another one called The Richmatics. That one, I didn't see it in Wikipedia, so he needs to tell us what it is. And The Eagle in You is also another one. Apart from that, he's written several articles, and I think he's the founder of the SEER, right? So he will talk a little bit about SEER and so many other things. If I were to go through his profile, I know I'm deliberately leaving certain things out so that he will fill in the blanks for us. And most importantly, He is married with 2 amazing kids, 2 teenage kids. So he's not a play around person. He's not a young man. He's actually the real deal. Having 2 teenage children is no joke. So he's a real deal. And also he's a lay preacher at his church, Methodist Church of Ghana. Mr. David Egyir, you are most welcome.
Thank you so much, my brother Kisi. Yeah, Isaac.
Awesome.
And thanks for all the nice things said about yours truly.
you deserve it. You deserve it, brother. You deserve it so much. I would just say that maybe for the sake of the audience, maybe chip in a little bit. I want to know a little bit about the books. What inspired you writing books?
Right.
The lay preacher thing, we'll go there. But for me, I'm not surprised that you're a lay preacher. I don't even understand what a lay preacher is, but I'm not surprised that you preach. Because of when we were on campus, I didn't get to interact with you on a personal basis. But I think your lifestyle, there was something about you and your lifestyle that was very attractive to me.
I see.
Yes, we never were able to talk, but I could observe you from afar, and I realized that you were different. There was something unique about you. So adding the preacher to the mix, yes.
In fact, you are telling me that I could run, but I could not hide.
Definitely, yes. Yes. 2 things makes people. It always works on the extremes. People get notified when you do very, very bad and nasty things. And sometimes too, people get notified when they are naturally themselves, and you realize that they are not themselves. There are people who don't get notified are in the middle.
I love that one.
So
to be yourself, man.
Exactly. So we are glad to have you.
Yeah, you asked about the writing, especially the Purpose Compass.
Yes.
Through, let's say, events of probability in nature, I found myself being quite adventurous, not in the physical sense, but in being very inquisitive. So I explore a lot. I found myself in leadership roles naturally all throughout my school time. Yeah.
Right.
I finished school, joined the church in a new neighborhood, and I joined the youth fellowship and got elected to lead the fellowship. Now, even though I had been a leader all through school, I reckon that to be able to lead the youth fellowship, I needed to learn what leadership was all about.
Wow.
I'd been a leader throughout my but I had never taken the trouble to learn what leadership is. Read any book about leadership, So for the first time, I decided to go and look for leadership books. I went to my favorite bookshop, got some leadership book, and of course, John Maxwell featured prominently.
Yes.
Some other books also, self-help books, caught my attention. Several of them, Think and Grow Rich, Read That, Poor Dad, and all those, you could count them. So I picked some of those ones as well. Now, when I started reading those books, it was as though all the 6 years I was at the university meant next to nothing.
Wow.
And I was like, wow.
Re-education.
So we have these resources and nobody drew our attention to it or to them. And so for me, it was a eureka or a light bulb moment. So I started pouring on the books. I'll finish, read some of them several times, go back to the bookshop, go and gather more, and I was just going. So within a space of just a few months, I bought and read over 100 of such books.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Because I started reading very slowly. So you just went straight into it.
Yeah. I was devouring them. And some of them, I'll read them more than 3 times. A book like See You at the Top. It's quite thick.
Yes.
See You at the Top, I read it like 3 times. And each time I made notes, underlying stuff and the paragraphs and all those things.
Interesting.
Yeah. The wealth of information I was getting from those self-help books were the equivalent of the university education I obtained over the 6 years, or perhaps more in certain instances.
Wow. You were talking of, I did 4, you did 6 years. So you are talking of real stuff.
I'm talking about real stuff. Some of the things, when I mention them, they even sound embarrassing. There were times we had just married and had given birth 2 years after. And I'll go to the supermarket supposedly to go and buy baby stuff. I'll see books. I'll end up buying the books and leave the baby stuff.
What?
Yeah.
You buy them and leave the baby stuff. Did that mean that at that point you were an irresponsible dad?
Say that. No, it should just tell you what had been triggered in me.
Okay.
And I was a very good student back in school. Yeah. So you can imagine, I felt I knew next to nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. So that's so along the line, I realized that the information I was now being introduced to, in that sense, needed to go to every individual in Africa, in the least. So how do I do that? I have to speak about it. So I was doing presentations.
Okay.
And I had to document some of them, synthesize them into smaller,
bite-sized chunks,
consumable. Because you don't expect somebody, the average African, to go and read 100 and over books
they won't
just to learn what you have acquired. Yes, so that's what I was doing. Yeah, indeed. In one of my speaking engagements was for the youth.
Okay.
So I decided I was going to do a booklet, a small, the single section book, the one with the stapler. Just a small book that will have, the meat.
Yes, of it.
So I printed even 1,000 copies.
Okay.
Of the cover that I was going to use. When I eventually sat down to write, I wrote 7 different books.
Wow.
Yes. I don't know that I couldn't use the 1,000 covers I had printed.
Incredible.
Yeah. So the purpose compass is to summarize all that in a bite size. So the purpose compass is not big. You can actually read it in a sitting.
One sitting, yes.
Yes. It gives you the overview of what you need to know, what every individual needs to know. In fact, one of the things that really gingered me was a research finding by Harvard University that pointed to the fact that all the schooling we get, all the formal education we get, is able to harness just up to 22% of a person's true effectiveness and greatness in life. And that the remaining 78 is not found in the classroom.
That is so true.
So the objective was, so if the 78 is not found in the classroom, what will naturally constitute the 78?
I want the bigger portion, not the small portion. I'm greedy.
So after 7 years of that work and covering more than 1,000 volumes, I decided to then synthesize the whole thing into a series I call Zinc for Life.
Okay.
So the purpose compass is the intro to Zinc for Life.
Okay.
And then the eagle in you is the core of Zinc for Life. And the eagle in you borrows from the story of the farmer who, or the hunter who had found an eaglet under a tree, took it home, added to the turkeys. The eaglet grew up and thought it was a turkey and was just behaving like a turkey.
Yes.
Until a farmer friend of the hunter came in, saw the turkey, and forced it to soar. I'm summarizing the story.
Right.
So there's something in each and every one of us. There's something in each and every one of us. I don't know what to call it. For me, the best way of calling it is an eagle in you.
An eagle in you.
So it's like you are an eagle, you have an eagle inside of you that has, through the circumstances, identified itself and behaving like a turkey. How to now reactivate that eagle in you.
Right.
So it's supposed to help individuals to harness
their potential,
their true or hidden potential.
Yes.
Now, some of the findings when we talk about potential was that each and every individual born into this world already comes into this world already equipped with everything he or she needs to be able to come up with an idea, a theory, a product, or a service that is capable of impacting positively on the lives of at least 1 billion people within a period of 10 years.
That's
the minimum potential.
Wow.
How do you get to harness that minimum potential? And I'm saying that for emphasis, the minimum potential.
Minimum.
Yes.
1 billion.
We don't know anyone's maximum potential. I don't know. And so far, I don't know anyone who can tell a person's maximum potential. But as for the minimum potential, we have an idea. So
that is so profound. That is so profound. So if you can break
that minimum must come out.
So
that's where the Eagle in You book comes in.
Okay. Wow. Yes. This is very powerful. This is very powerful.
Rhythmatics takes all that and put that into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
expand a little bit on that. So how does discovering your potential or discovering the eagle in you translate into a successful entrepreneur?
Okay, great. So everything rises and falls on your vision.
Okay.
And until you know your true or hidden potential, chances are that any vision you set will be small without you knowing.
I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
And indeed, for most of the surveys I've done, people really underestimate their true or hidden potential and therefore just attempt next to nothing compared to their true or hidden potential.
Yeah.
Yes, because you can only attempt things that are commensurate with your perception of yourself from your deepest or your innermost conviction, deepest internal conviction. Yeah.
It's true.
So, yeah. So that is it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So the Eagle in You or Zinc for Life will take you through that journey of a rediscovery of yourself and know that nothing can stop you.
Impossible. Yeah, nothing is impossible.
And then further to that, what are the steps you can use to then achieve a successful, venture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a whole lot
Wow.
inside of it.
Maybe we'll come to that another day. So quickly, I think one of the things that I've discovered, especially talking with people, and I talk to people a lot, especially young people, sometimes older people, but predominantly I just love young people because they have fresh energy, fresh passion, zeal. Their lives have not been tainted yet, so they are very open. So we talk a lot. One of the things I noticed is that, especially during periods of hardship like this time, the world is going through what we call a turmoil. Where
a serious one.
Yes, where people's expectations on certain things are being delayed. Some people want to enter into business, or some people are looking for jobs after graduating from school, and the jobs are not coming because the industry is not growing. So it's like, there's I think there's a verse that says that hope deferred makes the heart sick, kind of thing. So
exactly.
If you are in that boat, from your perspective, what can you do to ensure that you still stay motivated, although your vision and your goal in life seems to be not going to plan, or the physical circumstances tell you that this thing that I'm holding on to,
it may not work.
it may not go the way I think it's going to go.
Yeah.
Or it may not happen the way I want it to happen.
Great.
Yes. So with that, having that kind of fear and a little bit of doubt, that kind of thing, how do you overcome that stumbling block
great.
in terms of your personal motivation?
Great. Even before I deal specifically with that, let me say ahead that COVID or no COVID, our plans will face difficulty. Yeah.
I like that.
So COVID is only one of the many incidences that will hit our plans. Because your plan is like a design into the future.
Right.
You are not a prophet to know exactly what will be happening. So your plans, right from the word go, comes with flaws inherent in them. And you must acknowledge that no plan is foolproof. A plan is just an outline of the objectives you seek to accomplish. So let's see them as milestones.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, as you are going towards the milestones, there will be detours. Yeah. So it's like making a journey on a seas. Okay. You cannot predict the wind direction with certainty.
No.
So you adjust your sails as you go along. So that's the broad approach or the mindset I want us to have even right from the onset. So whether you've had plans already or you are now going to make the plan, this applies. Okay. Moving on from there, I'll divide the options into two major ones. The first one, I call it the option A, not necessarily in order of preference, but I would defer to that. Is that you should pull yourself up by your own bootstrap.
What do you mean by that?
Okay. So if I should simplify it, I'll say that look inward. Look to yourself for the solution, for the motivation, for everything you need. So I'll break it down further.
Okay.
And then the option B, I call it sit next to Nelly.
I like these analogies.
Yeah, sit next to Nelly.
Okay. Who is Nelly?
Yes, Nelly will stand for someone. Nelly could be anybody.
Okay.
It's just a nice name.
Yes, it is. It rhymes with jelly.
Yeah. But let's say that Nelly is more experienced than us.
Okay.
Or Nelly is more experienced than you, the person.
Right.
Nelly has faced more in terms of what you are going through before.
Right.
It's more, yes. So you defer to Nelly and take his or her advice. Nelly is more of a female, so take her advice.
Advice, yes.
So it talks about consulting. And maybe I should deal with that before I come to pulling yourself by the bootstrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nellies come in various ways. So Nelly could be in person or by their works.
Okay.
So what you see them do, their books, their blogs, their vlogs, their courses, their seminars, their videos, anything that Nelly is churning out by way of advice.
Right.
And there are 1,001 Nellies.
Yes.
That we can fall on. Okay. So I'll put that away and go back to pulling yourself up by your own bootstrap or bootstring.
Yes.
Okay. So that later, depending on the questions that come up, we may pick and elaborate more on sitting next to Nelly.
Right.
Now, before you embark on any plan or any journey, you must have an objective or a set of objectives. But usually, there's an overall objective. And when you put timelines to the objective, you are beginning to get goals.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So let me use more of objectives for now.
Okay.
Okay. But we can be interchanging that with goals.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll use objectives for now because I'm trying to mellow on the timeline bit.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you set off to accomplish XYZ in 10 years, in 2 years, in 5 years. I want us to put those timelines on the back burner.
On the side briefly. For now. Okay.
Yeah, just briefly.
Okay.
So I'm going to be using more of objectives than goals.
Okay.
Okay. But where I use goals, no problem.
That's okay.
Okay. Now, there's an overarching objective in anything that you set out to do. Every plan has an ultimate objective.
Right.
Now, the first issue to deal with is that you must have a very strong reason why you are pursuing
a big why.
that.
Okay.
Yes.
Your big why.
It must be so big. It must be so convincing that nobody can talk you out of it.
Wow.
Yes. So for me, I'll give my one of mine as an example. Until Africa or people of Africa begin to see the new mindset that we need to assume in order to see tangible development, I am not resting. So I was called to involve myself in a very huge project by one of the big oil multinationals in this country. It was going to impair this vision or this dream or this goal. I politely declined. Not that I didn't need the money.
You needed it.
But I needed to get this thing that will not let me sleep. That will not give me peace out of the way. so that I can be myself, because it was as though I was possessed.
Yes.
Yes.
It's good to be possessed with good things, though.
Yeah. Because if I tell you some of the things, it's crazy.
I think we call it obsession rather than possession.
Yeah, it's
obsession. Yes.
So you must have a very strong reason why. If you haven't had it yet, then you may have to rethink and come up with a very strong reason. Otherwise, you will give up along the way. You'll be so frustrated along the way because your plans will never go as expected.
That's incredible.
Yes. So that's it. Having a strong reason why just is about half of your problem
solved.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So basically, when you get these two building blocks in place, pulling yourself up, by your own bootstraps or by your own straps, and then sitting next to, so let me say, maybe a mentor, whether it's a distant mentor, that sets you on the path so that you will not be, although you're not going to be totally absorbed from the shocks that will come from pursuing your goal, but at least those two things will keep you on track.
Yes. Now, pulling yourself up by your own bootstrap or your bowstring, there are other issues in there that I need to elaborate or clarify.
Yes, let's do that.
So having a strong reason why is the first and the most important step. Okay. And I'm saying that alone is like going to push you almost 50% in terms of the motivation you need to drive on.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, the next thing is to make a positive declaration about your ability to surmount every barrier that will come your way. Yes, because inherently, that's where eagle in you comes in.
Okay.
And of course, we don't have the time to go into all the details of the eagle in you. But the eagle in you helps you to rediscover yourself. So as a human being, if we say, who are you? You'll come up with a lot of, if you're a believer, you say that I'm a child of God, I'm the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, and all those things. Fair enough. But what are you?
Yeah.
What are you?
They will say I'm a lawyer. I'm an architect, right?
Then you missed it
completely. Okay. So I'm a doctor. If I'm a doctor, I'm proud about my doctor, right?
That is fine. That is fine. But you see, it's like being an eaglet who has grown to see himself or herself as a turkey and being proud of it.
Oh, wow.
You are an eagle. You are not a turkey.
You are not a turkey.
You are an eagle. So you must discover that eagle in you. So I'll say that you are using a microphone.
Yes.
Okay, so what is a microphone?
It amplifies my voice so that you can hear it, the audience can hear it very clearly.
Okay, so you know what a microphone is for. As a human being, what are you? What are you? What have you been created or designed to be able to do or not to do? There are things this microphone can do. There are other things it cannot do.
Yes.
The owner added a manual to guide you on that. As a human being, do you know you have a manual? And have you read that manual?
That's interesting.
The Christian will immediately point to the Bible. And I say, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So what's the manual then?
Okay. So the manual is the body of trusted knowledge that the whole community of the world has identified or discovered for our use. Okay. So I say that 99.99% of what we need to be able to accomplish anything we set our heart or minds on is known and have been documented.
Okay. Well, but would that not include the Bible as well?
It does.
Okay. All right.
But then your interpretation of the Bible becomes another matter.
Okay. The understanding of it even.
Yes. And it so happens that a lot of people are interpreting or rather misinterpreting the Bible to their own doom.
Okay.
If we have time, we can go into
that. Wow. Maybe we'll do that on another segment.
Yes, we can do that in another segment. So you must fall on Nelly to help you discover your true or hidden potential. And then the tools you need to surmount the barriers.
That is very important. Let me throw this hypothetical story, right? To give some context to what we are discussing. So let's say it could go both ways, as an entrepreneur or as a graduate. Let me say I'm a university graduate and I finished school maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not a lazy person. I'm very hardworking. I have big visions. I have big aspirations. I'm looking to do something to contribute to help probably my family, my immediate family, maybe mom and dad, who sacrificed everything to put me through to school.
Yeah.
And help them alleviate their stress, financial stress.
Yeah.
But I've been waiting, sending in applications left, right, and center. Nothing is happening.
Okay.
I have hope. I kind of believe that there's something, major inside of me. I haven't discovered it yet, but I just have that belief that something good will happen in my life. But that that waiting is actually, it's actually stressful. It's painful. Let me put it that way. Okay. It's painful, and I just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like I wake up every morning, it's like, is it going to happen today? And 24 hours later, nothing happens. If I'm in such a situation, what should I do?
Okay, good. It's a very awkward position for anyone to find himself or herself. No two ways about that.
Right.
And if we'll be honest, along the way, each and every one of us must have gone through moments where something semblance of that happened or is likely to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, because as humans, there are uncertainties, there are unmet expectations, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the first thing is relax.
Awesome.
That's the first thing. Relax. Nothing strange is happening. You must acknowledge that.
Okay.
So the scriptures will tell you that no temptation has seized you except that which is common to man.
Common to man.
I will even twist and say, except that which is common to life.
Okay.
There's nothing new under the sun.
There's nothing
Whatever
new.
You are going through, people
Somebody
have
has gone through.
Exactly. So we shouldn't think, why is this happening to me? Yeah, everybody counts his or her burden as the heaviest. It's a natural.
It's true. When you are going through it, you think that's
that
the worst
thing. Is the heaviest.
Everyone's one is lightweight.
It's light. So you must relax and acknowledge that what you are going through is nothing strange.
Right.
And that there is a way of escape. Yeah. He said that with every temptation, will he make a way of escape. For us.
That's right. That's right.
Now, until you relax, you may not see the way of escape.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
very true. Just hold your thought there. Just hold your thought there 1 second. Don't lose your train of thought at all.
Okay.
I just remembered this. Somebody told me. He says, this thing you are talking about, relaxation, is so important. He says to him, being in a state of anxiety,
yeah,
it's like having a glass of water.
Yeah.
And actually, being in a state of rest, it's like having a glass of water, a clean glass of water. You pick it, you show it to the sun, you can even see through.
Okay.
He says when you enter into a state of anxiety, it is like the glass of water that you had, somebody had put red clay into that glass and has stirred it.
Trouble.
So you can't see clear. Even when opportunity comes,
you won't see it.
You can't see. So I just felt like interjecting with that. So please continue with your.
It's a perfect analogy.
Thank you.
So that being able to relax is so important. So as part of Zinc for Life training, a section takes you through how to manage your emotions.
Okay.
Yeah. So for instance, we have positive emotions and we have negative emotions. The emotions themselves are not negative in the real sense because they are subject to interpretation.
Right.
It's the consequences of our inaction towards them. That could be negative. That's why we classify them as negative emotions.
Okay.
Usually we don't have a problem with positive emotions. But the negative emotions that we usually have a lot of problems with.
Right.
Now, no matter the negative emotion you can think of, depression, anxiety, sadness, all of them, a plethora of them, the whole range of them, they can all be classified under 10 core negative emotions. And each of these core emotions have a definite message it's bringing to you. It's telling you a specific statement.
Right.
So the feelings or emotions we go through are nothing but feedback mechanisms.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. So when you feel disappointed, is this a feedback mechanism that is bringing you the message that an expected outcome is just not going to happen? Finito.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
And that you need to change your perception or you need to change your processes towards it. 2 actions. Nothing more, nothing less. Any other thing you do, you are just wasting your life. When you feel overload, you have too many things to do. This is there for you to do, that's there for you, that's there for you. This is this deadline, this is being demanded of you. You are so much overloaded. The simple message is that replan.
Okay.
So you change your perception and or you change your process.
Okay.
So in some of them, your ability to renegotiate will come in. So as part of Zinc for Life, we teach you how to deal with people.
Okay.
And it's one of the greatest skills every human being needs to go through this life.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the first person to pay an employee $1 million a year in the world as documented.
$1 million a year.
Yeah, the first. Okay.
I haven't.
Now he paid this employee $1 million a year because of this employee's exceptional ability to lead, to influence, to handle people. And he said that the ability to deal with people is as purchasable as any commodity like sugar or coffee. And I'll pay more for that ability than for any other under the sun.
That's incredible.
Yes. So part of our frustrations come because we don't know how to deal with people. We don't know how to handle people. We don't know how to negotiate. But I was very ambitious when I was setting up my first physical office.
Okay.
I went for a very great location, a dollar indexed.
Yes.
It was upon hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. Because I spent too much.
Yes, too
because
much
at the point, even meeting the rent was a bit strenuous on the business. So at the point, I had to go and renegotiate. And for a landlady who was not used to that, had to appreciate my point of view and allow for installment payment of the rent rather than one huge upfront payment.
One huge chunk. Yeah, that's renegotiation.
Yes. A lot of people had very negative impression about the landlady. Yeah. But I went very simple. You are a human being.
You're a human being. Exactly. You're a human being first.
Yes. These are the facts. These are my way of looking at it. If you look at it this way, win-win, we all be happy.
Exactly.
So that takes one stress away. So it's a matter of series of tools that we need. And Zen for Life, and much of it is in the Eagle, and it deals with all these things.
Okay. All right. So coming back to our story, I've heard that this person needs to relax. That's number one.
Oh, yes.
I've heard they probably need to develop some level of people skills so that if they'll be able to maybe negotiate or talk themselves out of certain things or deal with people to harness solutions to their problems. I've heard those two. Are there any other points that you can?
Yes, I'm going to build on this.
Okay.
So as part of dealing with people, you are going to look at your marketing tools.
Okay.
One of them is your CV.
Okay.
So in your synopsis, you mentioned that he sends CVs around. What kind of CVs are those?
Exactly. Okay.
And trust me, for a period when I was a youth leader and even beyond, I work more with the youth.
Okay.
Because I feel they are the ones whose mindset is more malleable.
Yes, at this point.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The old people, your minds are like metal cakes. Yeah.
The Ziegler says that their mind is like concrete. It's all mixed up and permanently set.
Permanently so.
It's all mixed up and permanently set.
Oh my goodness.
That's so much about the old school.
That's a good one.
So I was looking at their CVs and I told them there's no way this CV can get you a job, no matter how much you pray.
Right.
So I helped some people shape their CVs and they got a job.
Oh, good.
And one of them, he thought I was worrying him because I pushed him. You revise, bring.
Several times.
Yeah. Because it's a marketing tool. You are using the CV to sell yourself. You can't do one generic CV and then you throw it into the system.
That's
it won't move anybody.
Let's see where to land. It's like lottery.
Anybody. And then some of them, they'll say, I've sent CV to plenty places, and you ask them, how many CVs have you sent? They say 10. 10 CVs. And you say you've sent CVs to 20 places. 10. You haven't even started.
When I was in London, I sent more than 500 CVs. 500. Job search was a full-time job for me.
It's somebody's full-time business.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It was my full-time job until I got a full-time job.
So what kind of CV? So you must learn to craft what I call a winning CV.
Okay.
And it must be tailored to the organization and the position you are seeking. It means that you must go there, use your people skills to talk to those in there. You visit their website, you have a feel of their corporate structure,
right?
Send messages, go use your people management skills. But I don't like using people management. I often like to use leadership. Use your leadership. Leadership is influence.
Yes.
Use your leadership skills to establish the right rapports and so on and so forth. Yeah. You'll be able to go to a secretary and get the secretary to get your appointment. Even if the first question becomes, do you have an appointment with him or with her?
And you say no.
You should be able to say, no, I don't have an appointment, but XYZ. So your boss needs to know QRS. Otherwise, this company's turnover will keep going. You should be able to speak, say that the secretary has no option than to let you in, because you are coming to help the company rather than coming to burden the company.
Yes.
Or two, there are other tools. When I say sitting next to Nelly, some of the tools I learned sitting next to Nelly is that a book is one of the greatest means to getting an appointment.
Amazing.
Yes. So it bypasses a lot of the doors.
How is that? Can you connect that for me?
So you get a very good corporate leadership book.
Okay.
That has content that will make a great impression on the person you want to see in the organization.
Oh, wow. Now I get it. Now I get it. I have done this before, unknowingly. These things unknowingly. I used to work for a very, very large healthcare company in the US.
Okay.
And I remember I needed the opportunity to pitch an idea to the CEO.
Okay.
And this company was huge. We were 4,000 employees.
Oh, wow.
So you could imagine, very, very large. And not many people in their company looked and talked like me.
I can understand.
I was a tiny drop there. So one day we went for an event. That company was based in Dallas, Texas. So we went for an industry event in New Orleans, in Louisiana.
Okay.
Then one of the guests who came to speak had written an amazing book on healthcare and its treatment, how poor people are treated when it comes to healthcare emergencies. Okay. And I knew that our CEO had a very soft spot when it came to those kind of things. He one of the people I've worked for that it's like this gentleman, you would work for him for the rest of your life without even knowing. He was a great human being. Let me put it that way. So I bought one of the books and actually asked the author to autograph it.
Okay.
And then I went and I gave it to his personal PA that I want John to have this. And that opened the door for me to gain audience. That's a real thing.
and even instead of even going there physically, you can dispatch it.
Oh, wow.
You through any courier with a small note pointing to particular few pages, maybe referring him to a particular page in the book. I mean, everybody has one problem or the other he or she is struggling with, especially on the job. And
no matter how big they are. Yeah.
And no matter how busy, if you're able to draw their attention to a potential solution, they are with you.
That's right. That's right.
So there are all these tools there.
Yeah. To get the attention. It's the attention that's the most important thing.
That's it. So all these things are there. And then maybe immediately you want some revenue coming into your kitty.
Okay.
You must learn to sell.
Mm-hmm.
You must learn to sell. Indeed, we don't have to wait until we are in crisis before we learn how to sell. We must learn how to sell irrespective of the course we are pursuing at the university or the polytechnic or technical university or anywhere. Because one thing we all do constantly is selling.
I like that.
Yeah. So if you know how to sell, you can sell any product or any service at all without permission.
Exactly.
If I went to, without a degree in sales or marketing, I went to tractor and equipment. What do they call themselves? Is it Mantrack or something like
that? I don't know, but the tractor equipment sounds
heavy duty
equipment,
mining equipment.
Yes.
If I learn how to sell, I can sell anything, and therefore I can sell those heavy duty equipment.
Yes.
If I went to Mantrack and I said that I'm getting a lead for this equipment, can you give me further and better particulars on it so that I can use to close this deal?
Close the deal
for you. You think they will say, "Where's your certificate?"
Never. Sales is one of the things that nobody cares about your certificate. Because the outcome is very straightforward. Were you able to sell? Were you able to sell?
So you can sell stuff online without moving an inch.
Yes.
You can go physically door to door, and so on and so forth.
Sell.
Yes. One of the things I have started selling is smart business cards.
Amazing.
It's pretty new in the system. And I want to sell them.
You want to sell them? Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Smart business card. It's just a standard size business card, but it comes in various material. It could be plastic, it could be metal, it could be bamboo. It could be, but it has a chip in it. And you can store all manner of things on it.
I see.
So all your contact details, if you are running multiple businesses, you can store all the information on it. All your social media handles, anything linked to your landing pages, anything you want to store. And you can send that information to any phone without physical contact.
That's excellent.
Yeah. So it's COVID compliant, and it's the future. I mean, it's not even the future; it's the now.
It's needful, super needful.
Exactly. So one will ask, but why do you bother yourself? Yeah. But I know I can sell. I can have an automated system that sells it
for you. Yes.
That sells it for me. So I'm pursuing it, and it will be
another stream of income.
Passive.
Stream of income, which is the best form of income.
Yeah, I'm prepared to train other people who want to also be able to sell it and take commissions, whatnot.
Yeah.
So irrespective of your profession, you must learn how to sell. And the opportunity to sell, nobody will arrest you that you are an architect. Why are you selling smart business? As a matter of fact, if I don't sell it to you, you even know that there's something called smart
like that. Exactly. So
an architect.
So you are helping them. Selling is actually helping somebody, basically.
I'm helping you to get to know what smart business card is, to save you money and to simplify your life and make you your personal branding top notch. So you shouldn't have a worry that it's an architect who is selling it. So selling is very, very important.
That's
now,
awesome.
Without even adding more, just these few things,
they are more than enough.
Sort you out.
Because what you are doing is you are taking care of. Because my last question was going to be on that. My last question was going to be, if you are waiting for, how do you wait for an opportunity without getting into depression, right? How do we? And I think you've answered most of it, unless you would want to add something to it. But
yes,
what I'm getting,
let me add that the mindset of waiting for an opportunity is defeatist.
Okay.
We should appreciate that. Everybody listening has to appreciate, especially the young ones.
Yes.
The moment you say you are waiting for an opportunity, it's as though there's no other opportunity and you are just there.
Just waiting. Yes.
The problem is not lack of opportunity, but the ability to identify the numerous opportunities around us. I'll give you an example. I was invited to give a talk at Barcamp Cape Coast, Cape Coast University. There was a session there, and I was one of the speakers. It was about, helping the young people identify opportunities and, pursue them and all those things. So before my session, or in fact, before the general session, there was a period where we could interact. So I started interacting with a young man who was next to me, and we were talking. Then I asked about, the opportunities and blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, this country, there are no opportunities. So difficult, even, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now, whilst he was talking to me, he had this name tag, paper name tag. That is sticky in nature. So they printed your name on it. You just to apply it and it sticks.
Yes.
But he was struggling to apply it. So we were talking and he was still struggling to apply it. So I asked him, do you realize that that's an opportunity right there you're struggling with? So the organizers have given you paper name tags. That is not
working. Yeah, it's not working.
Just find one that works. Exactly. And you're in business.
You're in business.
So usually, it's just that we've not trained our minds.
Yeah, it's the mental conditioning.
To identify the numerous opportunities around us. So part of sitting next to Nelly, like going through the Zing for Life course or training, for instance, will shape you. Right. You smell opportunities when it's even 1,000 miles
away.
Yeah. So there are opportunities all around us.
Yeah.
COVID was a big opportunity for half of the world. At the same time, it was a serious dent in the life of half of the world.
So it depends on which half you belong.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that is amazing.
The crisis in Afghanistan.
Yes.
It's a huge opportunity for half
of Afghanistan. Yeah, half of the world, half of Afghanistan.
And a serious blood
travesty for the others.
Yeah. So, and like I said from the beginning, it's life just going on. Nothing has changed in essence. So it depends on where you stand at any point in time and the decisions you need to take in order to move on.
Yes. Wow. I've picked so many amazing ideas. I mean, for me, one of the things that really you said that really struck a nerve for me is don't think you are alone whenever you are going through a painful period. It's common. Many people may be going through the exact same thing, or maybe even harsher.
Yes.
You know,
some of the people you are looking at and think that, hey, these people are lucky. See how happy they are. Probably their situation is even worse than yours.
It's worse. So that immediately brings your stress level way down. And when you look at some of the strategies that has been shared here, and you pick just even one of them and begin to working on your CV is a key thing. If employment is what you're looking for, and working on it to a point where that the CV can help actually market your skills. That is very, very important. And also, most importantly, whilst you are waiting for the CV and things to kick in, go learn yourself some selling skills, some negotiation skills. Learn how to close deals. Learn how to follow up. You know, learn how to, whether you need to knock on doors or cold call, whatever it is, learn how to do that. And I believe that, you know, you wouldn't be stressed. I think what you're talking about is just bringing my mind to the fact that in life, you can be waiting, but you still have momentum. And what you're talking about is having some momentum whilst you're waiting.
Yeah.
Wow. So just to wrap up, you know, I would love it if you share your final thoughts. You know, I summarized mine, but I think definitely there may be little things here and there that you may want to tie up to bring it home. And I will leave you to jump on some other pressing things that you need to attend.
Interesting one. Maybe just to round it off, I'll just recap that you can pull yourself up by your own bootstrap or your own bootstring. And then you have to be sitting next to Nelly almost all the time. The time, as a matter of fact. There's a lot we need to know that we don't know.
Yes.
And often we progress from a point or a position of unconscious incompetence, not knowing what we don't know, and being oblivious and actually happy about the situation, or thinking that we know just because we have a certificate that says BSc, MSc, PhD, whatnot. Okay. There's a lot we need to know that we don't know. So it's only when you are humble enough to sit next to Nelly that you acquire that knowledge. So you move from a position of unconscious incompetence, then get to conscious incompetence. So you begin to now know what you didn't know before. But you are not skillful enough to execute it to perfection.
Yes.
So for instance, somebody didn't know that he or she could use a book and a note, a sticky note to reach.
Paying attention. Yes. To get the attention of the decision maker.
Yes. So now you've moved from a position of unconscious incompetence. Now you are consciously incompetent that you don't know how to do that, but you need to know how to do that. Then you put it into practice. You move from that on and on and on until mastery. Yes. You don't have the time to go through all that. But there's a 4-stage process. Okay, 4, 5. Let's take it like that. But the ultimate is not mastery.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So that is there. All right. Now, it's important that we develop that mindset of never giving up.
Yes.
Never giving up. A story is told of this famous Winston Churchill,
the British,
the famous British Prime Minister, right?
Yes.
And at the time he went to his former school, his alma mater, and they gave him a profound introduction. He has it. So they gave a very profuse introduction to acknowledge all of it
Right.
and took and began to speak.
Right.
And he said, ladies and gentlemen, never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Never, 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 never. That was the end of the speech.
The speech, that was done.
That was the end of the speech. And
Short and
this
sweet.
afternoon, I'm borrowing that speech to say that if you are listening to us or have listened to us,
Yes.
I say never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Never, 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 never. Just use the tools that describe, and there are more.
Yes.
So I'll point people to
Yes, please do.
csapp.com.
Yes.
SEERSAPP.com.
Yes, CS app.
csapp.com.
We'll put it on the screen.
Okay. There are a whole lot there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
We are available anytime to help when they need.
When the need arises. I think we'll go to I was checking the website before the call. Amazing materials there. I think you even do some one-on-one coachings and group coachings and all those kind of things there.
Yes.
Take advantage of that. This man is a treasure trove of information. He's somebody who's gone through, 1,000 books. That kind of thing is no joke. He's material on steroids. So and he carries a sweet spirit around him. I believe.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, do. And this is not just one of these kind of schmoozing comments people make. I'm not a schmoozer at all. I say it as it is. I lived in America a little bit, so over there you say it as it is. So that's what it is. He's a good man, and on top of that, he's incredibly resourced to be a blessing to you, if I will use that word, in your pursuit in life, in business, in career, in relationship. He's been married almost, I think this year you are clocking 20 years, right?
20, yeah. December.
You see? So he's an all-around package. He's an all-around, he's a blessed man. So we are so grateful. Mr. Egyir. We are so grateful having you here.
Highly honored.
and definitely we will come back for more. And you've been a great. You've shared some amazing insight. I was taking notes right here. Right.
Oh,
so
okay.
As you're talking, yes, I was taking notes. I'm always learning, So I believe, I believe everyone here we are
great,
fantastically, So I would encourage. Yes, I will encourage everyone visit the site, the CS app. Is the csapp.com, right? csapp.com. And his books are, he has a ton of resources, a ton of them. I think by the time you finish going through his resources, you will be on fire. So, and Africa needs people like them. So let's patronize his work. And I know that he's just starting. This is just the beginning. He's not even scratched the surface yet. So I guess if people need to talk to you, where would they find you?
Oh, there's a WhatsApp away.
Okay.
026. Okay. Plus 233 26 637 7777.
Okay.
So
we'll put it on the screen.
233.
We'll put it on the screen as well.
All right.
Yes.
Right.
My team will do that.
I think that simplifies.
Yes.
And my mail is very simple. Dave@egyir.org.
Oh, okay.
My pseudonym or nickname, Dave at my surname.com. So Dave@egyir.com. Egyir is EGYIR.
Okay. I know people who ends with RI. So I said, wow.
It's one of the fights we had to do when we were in school.
Okay.
Whenever you needed to give out your name, David Egyir. Yes. Oh, okay, Egyir. Before you realize, they start using Y-I-R-I, and then so I got to a time when we mention our name, we'll have to spell it.
Oh, wow.
Now, even when you are spelling, before you reach R, they've already
finished it. So we just gave up, right? Oh, awesome. It's awesome having you. Thanks so much.
The pleasure is mine.
Awesome.